One of the things that you get hate for on social media and being out here talking about certain things, I don't actually think most people appreciate how much hate you get. By the way, I'm in Dubai, taking a walk, Dubai Harbor here. As someone said, I can pretend like one of the yachts is mine, I guess. But Dubai just continues to construct. One of the most beautiful and forward-thinking and focused cities in the world. Just go back from Switzerland, and still Dubai, it's just on another level of forward-thinking, planning, everything. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to basically talk about here is hate. And one of the things that I've got a lot of hate over in the last few months has been me talking about MSTY. And MSTY being an income source and a way to generate income in your portfolio so that you can actually hodl the rest of the stack. And people have been saying, oh, MSTY is collapsing, MSTY is collapsing. The share price is going down, You should have just held your Bitcoin or your MSTR. And of course, MSTY is a different product to MSTR's fixed income products. MSTY is a yield harvesting product, and STRC, for example, is a fixed income product. They give you a 10% yield approximately, and it's fixed. So you don't have... I'm gonna go towards noise here, so I think I'm gonna come down here and stand here for a bit so I can get this video done. So you get a lot of hate, right? And actually one of the videos that I want to do, before I forget to mention it, is I want to do a video on the metrics that I'm looking at to tell me when to hedge some of my Bitcoin positions and MSTR positions, and what I think will constitute some kind of bull market, because I don't think this is it. So subscribe to the channel for that and follow me for that. That's coming in the next few days. But I get a lot of hate on MSTY. Get a lot of hate for recommending, and not even recommending, talking about why I like MSTY. And I just want to highlight something. So obviously, you know, the core fundamental Bitcoin hodl strategy is to hold Bitcoin. The alternative to that was to hold IBIT, right? Bitcoin ETF. And then a lot of people are looking for leverage returns on top of Bitcoin because, as I said, Bitcoin is my zero. So Bitcoin is the fundamental return that I get. So if I actually, it's my savings. So if I want to generate a higher return than Bitcoin, then I need something that's leverage to Bitcoin, right? As I've said many times before, if you've watched my videos, to me, there's three buckets when it comes to investing and managing a portfolio. There's your savings bucket, then there's your investment bucket, and then there's your income bucket. And to me, Bitcoin's in the savings bucket. And my investing bucket, the return that's higher than Bitcoin, is MSTR. MSTR provides an outsized leveraged return to Bitcoin. That's what it's designed to do, both to the upside and to the downside, right? So right now we're experiencing the downside effect of that, and we'll soon experience again the upside benefit to MSTR's leverage on Bitcoin. And then there's the income side of it, which for me is a roughly 5 to 7% of my overall portfolio. And I have decided to use MSTY for that. What do I do with that income? That income basically sits there waiting for the right opportunity, like potentially right now I'm contemplating it, to use to buy more Bitcoin and more MSTR. Right? I'm blessed. I don't need to be able to spend the MSTY income or any income from my portfolio, but it kind of just forces you to take cash and build up a cash position in the portfolio so you can do that. Now, MSTY works by selling covered calls and credit spreads and everything else that they do to harvest the yield from the volatility. It's a volatility harvesting fund. So as MSTR becomes volatile, goes up and to the downside, MSTY, the guys over there, the traders over there are sitting there and they're harvesting that yield, selling calls, buying call spreads, etc., to harvest that volatility to the upside and the downside. And they've been paying out roughly 6.5% a month on this, on MSTR's volatility. And again, the share price has been going down. Why has the share price been going down on MSTY? Because MSTR share price is going down. Now here's the kicker. To all the haters that were saying you should not buy MSTY, you should just hold MSTR and sell it. Sell your MSTR. I thought we were talking about telling people to build positions, right? And the share price has been going down. So here's the kicker. From the absolute peak to the current drawdown, to the current levels, Bitcoin is down about 32%. And by the way, everyone's losing their goddamn minds, right? Which is dumb, but that just is what it is when you get morons involved. Just losing their goddamn minds at 32% drawdown. MSTR during that same time period is down 69%, roughly, right? When you watch this video, it might be less. You can go and verify everything I'm saying here, by the way. MSTR is down 69% in that same time period. And the quote-unquote disaster that everyone told me I was a complete idiot for recommending or talking about MSTY and educating people on what it actually does and what the purpose of those yield harvesting funds are. MSTY is down 85%. Oh no, it is down more than MSTR. Oh my God. And then you got to factor in the fact that they've been paying dividends. So this is where the haters are going to have a lovely time working this out, right? These low IQ people that you see on the internet everywhere. And they are low IQ, because now we've basically stress tested this, because MSTR has basically presented a 70% bear market, right? MSTR is down 69%. It's presented a 70% bear market, and I think that that's a good enough stress test to tell you that MSTR, once again, to all the haters of MSTR, is fine. MSTR is structured well. MSTR is doing an amazing job, and I completely trust the team at MSTR and Michael Saylor to continue acquiring Bitcoin for me as a shareholder at cheaper prices than I could do it, because they're borrowing money and doing it, managing everything for me. And I will gladly ride the volatility, because I'm not a little sissy. And as and when the upside volatility kicks in, I will appreciate them more and more as that happens. Anyway, MSTR is down 85 roughly percent. MSTR is down 69%. I had a friend actually tell me, he'll probably watch this video, I had a friend tell me, oh my God, Bitcoin's only down at that time 12%. Why is MSTY crashing? I said, you do remember MSTY is on MSTR, right? And he said, oh no, I forgot about that. So just forgot fucking low IQ. He's not low IQ, he's a good friend of mine. But we've seen that quite often. And there's just a lot of low IQ people that don't understand how financial products work and what the purpose of different products in different parts of the portfolio is. So anyway, MSTY is down 85%. MSTR is down 69%. Doesn't look like a bad disaster, actually, when you think about it. But you're missing one thing. They've been paying out fucking dividends every single month, right? And they continue to do so, because when there is volatility, they will continue to pay out dividends, because their job is to harvest that volatility and turn it into yield and give it to you. And so when you factor in the yield, that the dividends that they've been paying out, if you were holding MSTR, you'd have been better off during this drawdown actually holding MSTY. The net return, the total return is actually down. MSTY holdings are down less than MSTR because of the yield harvesting that's going on, i.e. the fund is fucking working, and they're doing an amazing job in this market to do that. And I'm very, very happy with my MSTY position, despite it being down, because guess what? My MSTR position is down, and I'm getting paid on a monthly basis. The cash position is building up so that I can buy more MSTR now. Right? Now, there's obviously people that have dumped 50% of their net worth into derivatives products like Bitcoin treasury companies. And really, it's a lot of these low IQ Bitcoin treasury companies realizing that if you just held MSTY instead of getting into 7XM NAV Bitcoin treasury companies, you'd have been in a much better position now to buy those sacks of shit, right, at this point when it's low in the market. So a lot of haters are very, very low IQ. That's one of the things that I've, had to relearn in my life. That a lot of the time when people are quote unquote hating on what you're talking about, when what you're talking about makes completely common sense, they're pretty low IQ, and it's probably wise to just ignore them. That doesn't mean all the time, by the way, right? Because there's a lot of people hating on Bitcoin treasury companies, and I'm glad that I listened to them, because I did not invest a significant amount in Bitcoin treasury companies. I separate MSTR to all the treasury companies. So MSTY is down less than MSTR in one of the biggest stress tests that MSTR common stock share price has had. And if you're not a sissy and you can handle the volatility, it might be something that you want to look at, because for like 5 to 7% of your portfolio, not obviously the bulk of it should be in Bitcoin, should be in MSTR. That's my allocation. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. But I just wanted to point this out because the team over there, Michael, Scott, Jay, the rest of the team is doing such an amazing job in this market at harvesting this yield on behalf of the holders of MSTY. And everyone is shitting on them. And it turns out that if you had been holding MSTY instead of MSTR on a total return basis, you'd have been better off. You'd have been better off than holding the common stock. And so I wanted to point this out. Haters, again, low IQ, morons on social media, don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. And of course, the best trade for anyone who cannot handle volatility, right? If the volatility of Bitcoin is too high for you, you're never going to be able to handle the volatility of anything else. So therefore, you should just hold Bitcoin. And if you've got into Bitcoin and this market right now is causing you sleepless nights, then what you should probably do is increase your cash position. If you take 50% Bitcoin and 50% cash, so you got all that stability in your portfolio, you'll outperform the S&P 500 hedge fund managers. So you don't have to overcomplicate this. You can adjust this down to whatever allows you to sleep at night, and stop being a little moron and stop being a low IQ person on the internet and listening to people. You know how many people have completely aped into 50% of their net worth into treasury companies over this summer because they were reading tweets? Like, it's been absolutely and utterly ridiculous, but it happens every time. And I believe we're about to enter a massive bull run here. And I'm gonna, in my next video, talk about the metrics that I'm using to tell me why. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because ultimately, even for all the low IQ haters, there's always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.